The history of humankind is a history of adapting to adversity. And so it was at the height of the pandemic, as we sat bundled at home, that we learned to remotely work and socialize in our bubbles. And we were perhaps all the better for it. But of all the peculiarities that emerged from the Pandora's box that was the pandemic, the greatest one was an increased amount of curiosity. And what this meant for the alcohol sector at large was the emergence of a few key trends, such as at-home drinking, such as an exponential amount of premiumization and experimentation, but perhaps most importantly, the rise of a discerning class of consumer who wants to consume better rather than more. Today, we converse with a brand whose contrarian style of thinking has created a cocktail of change, and its recipe for success is quite astounding. Allow us to introduce you to Partisans. Born on an unassuming afternoon in the lockdown, Partisans focuses on creating fresh, flavoursome, all-natural cocktail mixers for a discerning audience. What started in a home kitchen has now expanded to a commercial one, serving over 4,000 customers across the country. Partisans has grown from strength to strength. Let's dive into a conversation with Jovita and Jordan Mascarenhas to understand the brand and its long-term plans better. We have here with us Jovita and Jordan Mascarenhas from Partisans. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us for this tea-to-tea conversation that we're having about the rise and the state of the alcohol industry. Jovita, just take us to the start of the brand and how Partisans came to be, how you felt there was an opportunity over there. Perhaps the kind of synergies that you and Jordan have and what you brought to the table when starting the brand.
So, well, we started Partisans in the lockdown. In 2020, and it started simply because Jordan was trying out all these cocktails at home and we were enjoying it. So that was actually how we started it. And I think just over a random lunch one day, we were sitting and drinking cocktails, and we're like, people should be able to do this at home, man, with everything having had shut down at that time. Restaurants aren't working and bars having shut down. Just the thought that, hey, listen, maybe we're not doing anything at home, we might as well. So that's just a thought at lunch, and it took off. And so we are here today.
I would ask you just broaden your vision a bit, talk about the F&B and the alcohol space at large. Are there any particular key trends that jump out at you?
So currently, in the alcohol space, it's picking up a lot in India, especially the gin section. They do pretty well. You see a new gin brand come up every day. So yeah, as a cocktail mixer brand, we want to give them a good experience. We want to concentrate on giving them a quality product instead of having maybe a Coke or a Sprite with their drink. So people go out to bars, they have their regular cocktails, but we want to give them the same experience at home.
So to just pick up the thread a little bit from what Jordan spoke about, one of the things that has happened post-pandemic is the rise of this at-home drinking culture.
Yeah.
What are the other major growth areas that you see within the space?
The pandemic did change that, right? The whole experience of drinking is now very, very different. I think number one, people are very, very conscious about what they're drinking. They're more aware of the alcohol. They want to know the story behind it. And I guess it extends to the cocktail mixers as well. People want to know why and what can they do with it, what the flavors are about. It's not just a blind, here's a orange juice and vodka and that's your cocktail. People really don't even think like that anymore. Experimenting is huge, and for us actually, I think the entire essence is for us to just be a part of your good time, and just to be able to be a part of that experience, and to be able to have the same experiences that you have at bars or a restaurant at your home, to be able to do that so easily, to be having a crafted cocktail by just pouring it into your glass. I think that the entire experience is different now. I think that's where we stand out with.
So, would it be fair to say that over the course of the last few years, the brand has largely ridden the wave of a more viral kind of popularity rather than anything else?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it is word of mouth because, so you must remember one thing, right? When you are having a party or drinking cocktails, generally not doing it alone.
Mm-hmm.
When one person is buying it and taking it home and saying, hey, listen, calling my friends over, and that itself in itself is what a marker is, right? Like 6 other people experiencing that along with you is what has actually got us, that entire traction.
Let me move the needle a bit, right? Jordan, I remember a couple of years back, I went to an event before you guys were founded. They were talking about the whole rise of the at-home drinking experience. This is pre-pandemic. And one of the things that jumped out at me from that was when we were talking about how to premiumize the home bar. The panelist in question said that, more than the barware that you have, more than the eating or the sitting or everything, look at the quality of ice. So are there any tips and tricks that you would have to give for any potential customers to elevate their at-home drinking experience?
Yeah, by looking at quality of ice is the most basic ingredient you could use for a cocktail, but all the other ingredients are as important. For example, the difference between using a ready syrup versus a syrup that you make at home fresh, or as simple as using a bottled lime juice or freshly squeezed.
Mm-hmm.
So the smallest things could make the larger difference to your cocktail. And yeah, when you're at home and you have the ability to serve something that would impress your guests, you want to serve them the best.
Just to throw back to you, Jovita, looking into the medium, the long-term perspective of the brand and the outlook, how do you see things shaping up?
I feel that there is a lot of, so people are looking at going out and experimenting more. Right? We really want to be a part of those experiences for people. We want to do a lot of events. We want to be able to be more available for people everywhere. Right? That's another thing. We're looking at tying up with hotels hotels and restaurants that serve up our product.
One last question for you, Jordan. When you're concocting all these flavors, is there a particular thing you keep in mind when crafting them for Indian audiences, or do you don't mind drawing from a global inspiration and then channeling it for an Indian diaspora?
We design cocktails at Bartisans. We like to keep one ingredient which is identifiable to the Indian market, and we try to keep the other ingredients to give it a completely different spin on it. So we concentrate on balanced cocktail. We make sure that we have the sweet, we have the sour, we have the bitter, and we have the dilution. Absolutely perfect. And yeah, working on it, it's been fun. And yeah, you get to learn a lot as well while looking at different ingredients. There are certain ingredients that at times you don't even know about. You just come up and you like to experiment with stuff. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when it works, it's really amazing.
Change, they say, is inevitable. But in this case, it's remarkable and refreshing. By raising the bar, a slew of innovators are giving the alcohol industry a whole new direction to head in. And it would seem that this growth story isn't going to be losing its place anytime soon. Thank you for being with us.